I've had this song stuck in my head for a couple days now, but I can't play it to lead in because we'll definitely get dinged. Like, we'll get DMCA'd for it.
You don't want that.
No, but I really like the song. I may play like a couple. I think I can get away with like maybe 20 seconds of it or something.
That Runaway song's, like, ever since you played that last week, I've been hearing on the radio.
Bro,
I'm like, you know what? I like this song.
That's such a good song.
It really is. I'm like,
It's
you know what?
such a good
I
song.
might have to give Jack a compliment about the Runaway song.
I appreciate that.
You know, maybe it should just be a theme song.
Yeah, I wish,
like it.
I wish you would have waited until we started, like the official, because this is going to stay on the cut floor, right?
Oh,
but that
boy.
might be on TikTok, because people don't usually give me credit. And
I actually like Runaway.
yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah, usually I don't like your shit, but that one I did.
Yeah, that's a really good.
I'm a guy that gives credit due where credit's earned.
I appreciate that.
Where it's credit due where it's credit due.
So I'm keeping it really safe here, but this is a good song. See if you know this song.
Oh, I know this.
I'm sure
I
you
hear
do.
this all the fucking
This is a
time.
great song.
Oh, that's working for the weekend.
That's right. Do you know who sings it?
And it's like a one-hit wonder type of shit.
Absolutely. It's tough.
Working for the weekend. 80s foreigner.
That's not a bad guess. It's
Type of guy.
Loverboy.
Loverboy. All
Yeah.
right.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Oh, we're almost there, man.
I know. So it's a Thursday night. All right, so before I do the official start, Knox says all the shit. Yeah, you're right. All right, so before I do the official start, so this is the song I was telling you about. I can't play too much of it because we will get dinged for it because it will definitely get DMCA'd. But tell me if you've heard this song by the, like, name that tune, right? The first couple riffs. This song's been stuck in my head for like 4 days. I feel like this is up your alley.
This is a newer song, though.
It's brand new.
Yeah. One Republic has a really good song out, too, that's really catchy. Yeah, it's a good
All right,
one.
I got to pull it down or else we'll get
That
hit.
and the Corn song is ridiculous.
Dude,
You're like, I had no idea about the Corn song. And then you're like, dude, you never saw it? I'm
Bro,
like, no, I never fucking
the
saw the Corn song.
Corn
What
song?
the hell is it? So I check it out. I'm like, dude, Jack, I hate you.
Yeah, the Corn song is rough.
Yeah.
Knox, you always work the weekends? Yeah, that's tough. You never heard that?
Not me. I tell him this. I go like this, and I'm like, boom.
Yeah, that song is Bad
Sorry.
Habit by Steve Lacy, and that song I cannot get it stuck out of my head. The song that Eric's talking about is not actually a song. It's just some bullshit on TikTok.
But the One Republic song is a real song, and that's a newer one. That's
I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've heard that yet.
Yeah, the new song, One Republic, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's pretty catchy.
Well, anyway, what is up, everybody?
Yeah, but what is up? Thursday night football. Thursday. Or Thirsty Thursday.
Coming in on a thirsty Thursday.
Cheers, man. There you go.
Swag's here with Earl. Happy to come at you Thursday night. We're here. We're having some statesides.
There you go. And that is not a paid advertisement right there.
No, it is not. But we wanted to get another pod in. Obviously, there's a game tonight. We're going to talk about that. We had games last week. We got a lot of NFL to talk about. A lot to cover, as always. We're going to get right in. But, of course, before we get into sports, a couple things I want to cover first. I had to throw this out there, and I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because it's going to relegate to only our area. But whatever. Project 202 is the biggest disaster in the history of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
202.
Project
What's
202,
that,
which is
like?
all the construction up and down
That's
202.
like, it's like going towards Norristown.
Going towards Norristown.
Oh yeah.
Going up from here up towards Bluebell up 202,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's
like,
really bad.
It's fucking horrible. I've never seen more disaster, like roads. There's the things where they dig up a road and then they leave like the metal plate there.
It's
like,
Norristown, baby.
dude, it's fucking horrendous.
Nothing like good old Norristown.
I was on 202 today for too long, which
Oh,
is
no.
like just getting on it, and bro, it's an absolute disaster.
Oh, well, I was doing a lot of driving today myself, which was okay. Wasn't a lot of fun because I was, if you're getting paid to drive, it's not as bad driving and not getting paid.
Facts.
So I'm like, I'm in traffic or I'm bumped, and I'm not driving my car. So I'm like, it could be worse.
True.
So it wasn't bad, but the Blue Routes, it's a shit mess. 76, shit mess. All the roads in PA
Horrible.
actually are shit mess.
Yes, they're bad. But
So there you
202
go.
is like the worst
So
of the
202
worst.
ranks at the top.
The
It's,
worst of the worst.
I just named like 4.
Yes. 202 is horrendous.
202's top
202 has
one.
construction everywhere, like top
Yeah.
to bottom, and where there's not construction, it's absolutely horrible. So Like literally, Project 202 is a disaster.
You just had to get that off your
I
chest.
had to.
You just had to
I
say
had
it
to
to
say it.
somebody.
I had to
Okay.
say
I
it.
get it. You
Yeah.
know, I get it.
So let's move on to positive things.
Yes.
All right. So we always like to do this. What are you watching on TV, Earl? Anything new
What am
come
I
up?
watching on TV.
What came up? Any new shows you got?
Why, you got one?
I got two.
You start and maybe
All
I'll...
right, I got two.
Maybe the brain will click in.
I got two. One is they're both actually pretty big. They've been kind of long anticipated. So the one is on Prime, and it's the Lord of the Rings prequel. You heard about this?
Prime. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
say it again.
The Lord of the Rings prequel.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm a big Lord of the Ring guys. I don't look it, but I am.
Yeah. No, I am too. Well, I'm not super big. I didn't read the books or anything, but I enjoyed the movies, the original.
Oh yeah, they're all
right?
great.
So so that came out. That's a series on Prime that comes out once every new episode every Friday. So there's like 3 or 4 out of those now. So that started. So that's really
I would like
cool.
to see that.
Yeah.
That does look good.
That's really cool.
I like that.
And then obviously the big one on HBO, Game of Thrones.
What, they're coming out with like the sequel of like the blonde chick hair girl?
Well, right. This is the prequel.
Oh,
so
the prequel,
right.
thank
So
you.
Knox said Ring of Power. Right. Ring of Power is
That
a
looks
great
good. I
show
like
on Prime.
that.
It's really good. I've heard a lot of criticism, and Knox might chime in on this, from like the Lord of the Rings truists, who are like they don't love it. I've liked it so far. I think it's really cool. The visuals are incredible.
Now who is it like? Who is it, like the hobbits or
Well,
the elves?
you're getting a taste of everything, right?
yeah.
It takes you back in time.
Is it like
So-
Gandalf's or the whatever?
One of the main characters is a female elf, and then you've got
The female elf that was
no, it's a long time ago.
really
In
so it has
comparison.
nothing to do with the
No
actual
Aragorn,
ring.
no Legolas,
Yeah, I
no
was-
Gimli.
I was trying to name
Yeah.
some of the names, but
None
I'm
of
like,
those
I don't want
guys.
to butcher it. But
Yeah,
I was
none of those guys. It's
Okay.
way before them.
sweet.
But you got like Sauron and Sauron, right? Like the
Yeah.
bad guy. So you're getting some elements, but it's a good show. I've liked it so far. I know there's gotten criticism, but I liked it. But of course, the big one is the Game of Thrones prequel, right? The House of the Dragon. So you've
Yeah,
got,
I'm not too.
have you been watching it?
No, I have not. I mean, with the Game of Thrones, I never had HBO, but like
Okay.
when I did watch it, I'd be like, dude, just fast forward to the battle scenes. What the hell?
Okay.
So-
I mean, I loved Game of Thrones. I was into
The battle
all of
scenes
it.
are great. I tried it. I got through like the first season, and then I just kind of just like, fell asleep the one night, and I like the thing.
4 episodes went ahead
Exactly.
when you woke
and
up.
I'm like, well, I guess
It's like me every
I
night.
guess like there goes that. And I tried.
Yeah.
But then I would like find like a really good battle scene. And I'm like, all right, let's watch that.
Right.
And I did watch the last season, and that was pretty good. you know?
And the last season, like the way they ended it, kind of sucked.
I thought it was. See, everyone's like it sucked. I'm like, how did it suck? The girl riding a dragon burned down the whole city.
Yeah,
Like, that's pretty
well.
fucking
The
cool to
fight
me.
scenes are cool.
Yeah, I'm like, what is so bad about the ending? Like, the girl's riding a dragon and burning a city down. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, well, that scene's not bad. I think the way it ended with what went down, if you followed the characters through the whole thing, was very disappointing.
See, it wasn't bad because I wasn't.
You weren't fully
I didn't
invested.
give a shit. I just wanted to see the dragon burn
Yeah.
shit.
See, you weren't fully invested, so it wasn't that bad for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's not too bad.
So I guess you could call me a fraud.
Well, you're not a fraud, but you weren't like
Time
if you
invested.
watched the whole show, you were so vested in the characters that ending like really sucked.
Yeah.
So-
You could say that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's that. But
In HBO.
so Knox said, and that but you're always going to get that, right, Knox? He's saying there's some things that aren't strict to the lore of the Lord of the Rings on the show. They haven't really affected the story. But see, that's the problem. Anytime you go back and you revisit these adaptations of like novels to books, and then you go back and add more, like the truists always want you to do it where they're going to stay super true to the story. But you got to remember, like when you're adopting this stuff to TV and movie, you're going to lose a lot of those elements, and you have to change things. And
Yeah, you
got to
make it exciting.
Right, you got to change it up. So
You got to create characters out of the blue and.
right, I recommend them both. Actually, I would say the only problem with the House of the Dragon, which is the Game of Thrones one, is that. And I actually saw this on TikTok. I got to get off fucking TikTok, by the
You gotta
way.
get off TikTok.
I gotta
dude.
get
You're
off fucking
watching
TikTok.
that way too much.
Too
You're getting
much.
all your information off of TikTok.
Too much
bro.
TikTok.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
So there's
you go, I told
there's
you.
actually a spoiler from the first, I think it's the second season of Game of Thrones as to what's going to happen in this season. Now, I forgot it. I forgot the conversation. I forgot the line. I'm not going to give it away here, but I'll tell you that happens in the second season of Game of Thrones, and it's from Joffrey, King Joffrey, to Sansa Stark, So you basically, like, if you paid attention enough and you remember, you already know what's going to happen in a coming episode. And I saw the spoiler on TikTok and was like, shit.
Stop watching TikTok.
TikTok, bro. TikTok's
It
bad.
got you.
The fucking corn song got me.
You got TikTok.
I got TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, I got fucking TikTok.
I go to TikTok for my fantasy advice sometimes. I go there or from like it's like my YouTube now these days. If I want to like find highlights of a guy, I'll type in the name, watch the highlights. Like, all right, thanks.
Well, see, you're see, that's my problem. You're like going and searching for something on TikTok. I'm just like, like my feed.
I do that too
I'm
sometimes.
just like,
and I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
I'm just scrolling through, and then something.
Just let me put the ball in the damn hole, you know.
Something comes up, Game of Thrones. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch it, and then 30 seconds later, I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid shit on there that I can. But the one thing they will let you do is post Americans die on there. Did I talk about that before?
No.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! On my TikTok, I'm like, dude, $20. You can put a American in like a war on TikTok, getting blown up and dying. Oh, they'll let it happen.
Jesus Christ.
But the one time I put up the one German scene in Saving Private Ryan, how he got shot in the eye.
Yeah.
Dude,
they took that off.
Oh, they cut that real quick.
Oh,
They're like, no
shit.
Germans dying, but Americans, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably something in their thing where it says fuck Americans, like we don't care if they die. So TikTok like lets it go. Was that too much information?
I don't know if it's too much
Dude,
information.
I try to post shit like, I post shit with like Americans dying, like the one scene with Mellis getting stabbed in the heart.
Right.
They don't care. That's good.
Okay.
But like anything like semi-violence, anything other of anybody else dying, it's like red flagged. But dude, if you want to get away with it, just call them an American and you're good. I swear, dude. I thought I had that little spiel on here.
You might have actually. It's an interesting theory. I mean,
it's not a theory. I tested out the theory, and it backs up my statement.
all right, but listen. I took advanced statistics in college, right? And your one trial.
What do you mean? I've hosted like 10
one, right?
American.
Like, and it's not big enough here to make it a full
Like the
effective
one scene with Leonardo DiCaprio gets shot in the head. Not good. Just an average citizen. Too violent.
Wait, what movie? Oh, you
Departed.
Okay.
Departed. Yes, not allowed.
He's not an average citizen, actually. He's an undercover cop.
Well, yeah. Well,
He's a
there
statey.
you go. I guess he does.
He's an undercover cop. He's a statey.
Well, he's not a soldier though.
No, he's a fucking cop.
Well, whatever. He's a white guy,
Yeah.
really.
Whoever walks by and doesn't pay attention to us, if they don't pay us no mind, they're cops.
Yeah.
How about her?
It was just an example. I've been dinged on a lot of shit.
How about her? She didn't even look at us. She's probably the fucking police commissioner.
Yeah. Is this part of the movie here? I did see it several times.
I
but
love
I'm just
that
trying to make
movie.
an example of why my theory is correct.
Yeah, I know. We'd have to do some more trial there, Eric.
What do you mean?
A couple more examples.
I'm just saying. I've done. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
I got it out.
You got it out.
That's a good theory.
It's a
so
theory.
let's move on.
Let's
Okay.
move on.
Before I start stumbling over start thinking about my other things.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
So
What do we got?
let's get into some sports. So last week was UFC 279, and Eric and I, we couldn't get together last weekend, but this was supposed to be a big fight card, but something crazy happened, and
I did watch that.
It
too.
fits right into what Errol and I love to talk about, right? We love to talk about weight classes and
my
weighing
God,
in,
yep.
right? So the fight was supposed to be Nate Diaz against Khamzat Chimaev, and he's like this big up-and-comer, right? Undefeated,
Yeah.
young kid, been beating everybody up. So they're supposed to fight at welterweight, which is 170, right? So they come for weigh-ins 2 days before, and Diaz comes in at 171. Now, again, we love to talk about weight. You're allowed to be up to 1 pound overweight for a fight if it's not a title fight.
Yeah, I actually watched that.
The weigh-in?
Saturday. No, I didn't watch
fight?
the weigh-in, but
Yeah.
I actually watched the fights, and I was following it and shit.
Right.
I'm like, dude, this is complete fucking bullshit.
It's unreal.
I was like, dude, because if I wrestled, they had like what? Like
well, hang on. Let me get it out. They don't know. Some people don't know
All
how
right,
yet.
say
Ready?
get it out.
So
okay.
So his opponent, Khamzat, comes in 7.5 pounds overweight,
Yeah.
which is unheard of.
Yeah.
right.
What is he, a Russian?
I
That
think
Russian beard guy. Go
yeah.
ahead.
That's unheard of weighing in, right?
Unheard.
Because you know as well as I do, you don't come in like that. And Eric and I have talked about this a couple times. He didn't look like he was sucking weight. He didn't look drawn out, right? Like, so clearly he just wasn't cutting for the fight. At some point in the lead up into the weeks up, he just stopped cutting for the fight.
Oh yeah. I mean, not the coming weeks. Probably the week you stop. They can probably shave 10 pounds off in a week easy.
Well, sure,
But
but I
whatever.
mean,
He could have cut that but he just didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
No,
And he came in.
Because some birdie got in his ears like, dude, just don't make the weight. You're going to have the other guy, and you'll fucking choke him out in the first round, which he did, and that's what happened.
Right. So essentially, but the thing is, the whole weigh-in was a farce, obviously, because when you look at it now, they had this because all of a sudden Tony Ferguson's there. Tony Ferguson's at weight. Tony Ferguson.
So Ferguson was supposed to fight the black dude.
Right.
I don't know the names of
Yeah,
the guys.
I got him. So
sorry
it's fine. I got him for you. So Kamzat ended up fighting Kevin Holland.
Yes,
and
Kevin Holland.
And Tony Ferguson, but they weren't supposed to fight at 170.
Yeah.
So they ended up So Kevin Holland ended up fighting catchweight with Kamzat, and Ferguson dropped down, cut a couple pounds to fight Nate at 170.
Yeah.
But you're right. It was supposed to be Tony Ferguson was supposed to fight Kevin Holland, and they ended up changing opponents.
And they flip-flopped.
But I didn't order the fight because I wanted to see Nate Diaz fight Kamzat. I don't as much as I respect Tony Ferguson, and he's been around a long time. He's a great fighter. And he's close to a legend in the game. I don't care to see Nate Diaz fight Tony Ferguson as a main event.
Yeah, I was upset with it too. He's an OG, and it was just like, why are you gonna have these two OGs? These two old guys just bang it out,
right?
Because Nate Diaz, there's gonna be blood spill.
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna be a bang.
I mean, dude, Nate bleeds.
Someone's gonna start bleeding.
Yeah,
with
Nate.
him fighting.
Nate's gonna bleed because he's got scars all
and
over
I
his
want to
face.
see that. Yeah, I want to see that Russian dude start bleeding, and I think the UFC protected him a little bit. They're like, dude, man, you're gonna get banged up there with him. Let's give you an easier fight, not get fucked up. That's what I think personally.
I agree.
Because I think Nate Diaz would have hurt him, and it would have messed him up. And let's give him an easy opponent.
This kid is
going to set him up for a title, and he's young.
This kid's
let Nate Diaz beat up Ferguson,
right?
Which he did.
This kid is their next big guy push, right? Star push, and I know you see. I knew
good old Buhash.
We knew it was coming. Prof.
I know. We were like,
we knew it was coming. I'm glad you're here.
I was like, I'm not talking about it unless someone brings it up.
We knew it was coming, but yeah, they're pushing Kamzat. And listen, Nate Diaz fights are crazy. Like this guy's gonna try and choke him out, but Nate's got great takedown defense. Like Nate's, he was
black
belt
BJJ. He just slugged the shit out of
Ferguson, right? But I'm saying
was just two-piecing him all night.
Nobody takes Nate to the ground easy.
Yeah,
right?
You don't want to.
And then the other thing is, is this guy going to be able to knock Nate out?
Yeah, it was a bad matchup for
Kamzat.
For Kamzat, whatever his name is. It was a bad matchup for him because he likes going to the ground. And Nate Diaz is comfortable on his back.
Yes.
So he would have.
And he's hard to bring down.
Yeah,
he's hard to bring down.
Yeah, so some birdie talked and something happened there. Like, dude, can we flip flop this?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Dana White and the UFC and what he's done to build the sport.
They messed that up.
But they should have charged half price for the pay-per-view at that point. I
didn't pay for it.
I mean, dude, you literally pulled your main event card and swapped the co-main event fighters. I'm like, dude.
I mean, I wanted to see Diaz fight because that was his last contract or his last fight contract.
But he'll fight again.
I don't know.
He'll fight.
Or he might retire.
He'll fight again.
Well, he was saying how he wants to, his next fight or so. There was some negotiation that he was saying, dude, hire all my fighters at my gym, and whatever. That's my payment. So all his dudes are hired by the UFC now. That's why you like that guy. You know?
Yeah, Nate's a dude. I mean, Nate. Obviously, you got to make money, and everybody's in to make money. But Nate loves the game.
He wants to see his boys get
sport,
paid.
Loves to fight.
He wants to see his boys get paid. And
by the way, famously, Barstool talks about hanging out with Nate Diaz, and if you
smokes a lot of pot, right?
Oh, he's a character. If you go and you search the Barstool hanging out with Nate Diaz, they're like, dude, he's one of the coolest guys to hang out with.
Oh, for sure. Even fun. Nick, I used to love Nick Diaz, man. I remember watching. Who did he fight? He fought. Was it GSP? I mean, he fought a couple. Nick Diaz fought a couple of huge fights.
Oh yeah.
Remember big pay-per-view and whatnot. And I was rooting for Diaz, but he lost. But I'm a big Diaz fan.
Yeah.
I grew up watching him fight.
Absolutely.
So, but now it's come to a close. But the weight thing is for sure funny. He could have dropped the weight. He didn't do it because he
didn't want the fight.
Because UFC told him not to.
He didn't want the fight.
I don't think it's set in paper or set in stone that someone actually
now
or what?
Papa Prof is here and he's monitoring what you say. He said stop talking about pot because his kids are listening. Come on, keep it family friendly.
Dude, it's Nate Diaz. I'm not allowed to drop an F-bomb. I love dropping F-bombs.
You
Every
know-
time I talk to someone, like, dude, you gotta calm down with F-bombs.
Prof hates cursing on the podcast.
Well, if you were here, you would tell me in person.
He's
But
like
guess what?
he's like Captain America. So all right,
No,
let's.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so before we move on to what I want to talk about, I'm glad Prop's here because I wanted him to weigh in on my next topic too before we get into football. But let's talk about
Softball?
softball.
Oh, you are doing it. Okay.
Let's talk about softball. So let me do it.
A woman's sport that you throw it on there.
I
want
want to do it. I want to do it. So Eric plays for Prop's team, Nick's gang, apparently,
The Knicks
formerly
gang.
a.k.a. Nick's team, Nick's gang,
Next thing. Oh, yeah.
which I get a kick out of. But you guys ended up winning the A Division championship. What was it, Tuesday night? What's today? Thursday?
Thursday. It was Tuesday night. It got delayed like 2 weeks. Buha wasn't even supposed to be there. I was like wishing he wasn't, and he just because I thought it would have been a lot easier without him, but it got rained out, so he showed up. So because it was supposed to be like 2 weeks ago, Monday, Tuesday, got rained out, 2 weeks delay, and we finished it off 2 days ago.
So it was a best of 5, right?
Best
you guys
of
won
5, and we
3-1.
sweeped them.
I thought it was 3-1.
It was 3-1, yeah.
So
Well,
that's-
no. Yeah, it was 1-1, then we swept them. So,
So you didn't sweep them. You won 3-1.
well, we swept them last night. So we
Right.
won 2-0.
The first, so what was Monday, 2 games?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. Right. So you guys
Yeah.
played 2, it was
And
1-1.
last night
and then last
we would
night,
have played all 3 of them.
right, you won 2-0.
And the first game we ended up, great game. They're always close and great games with those guys. And
First game was extra innings, right? I saw on the board.
Yeah, it was extra innings, and I do gotta give Buha a shout out. He did hit a grand slam.
I saw that. I saw.
That
Heels-
was like
I saw
bases
Heels
loaded.
posted,
We
"Homer slam."
we always fuck this up.
He loves a
We always
slam.
screw this up, on bases loaded, and he came through, and I'm like, all right. I was like, that's a big hit, bud. It was huge, man.
I mean, listen, slam.
I think
slam is
I think
huge.
it was tied up right there, and he hit the grand slam, and
Okay.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
extra
got it.
innings. First game, second game. They were beat up, worn out. They had a couple holes in the team, but overall it was close, and it was a good series. It was a good year, Norristown softball.
There you go. Back to
know.
back for you guys, huh? Or did you?
No,
did you do it
they
last
beat
year?
us last year. I'm saying
Right.
they're a really good team. And
Oh yeah, you guys are both really good teams.
yeah, so it was fun.
Well,
it was great.
congrats.
Thanks. We did a nice picture. We posted on
I saw
Facebook.
the
Go
picture.
check it out on Buha's
Yep.
thing.
You guys are all grabbing.
we're
dicks.
all around good guys.
You guys are all grabbing asses, grabbing dicks as you should.
No,
grabbing, getting
we're
hold.
not grabbing. We're slapping asses.
Yeah, and grabbing cocks.
Well, not many cocks.
I'm just kidding. Now you
I got
guys,
some gay jokes, though. I did
guys-
say a gay joke after.
you
the
guys
tournament.
have a good team.
Oh yeah, we do. I mean, we were so good. They didn't even want me to play.
How about it? Well,
How
the calf
about it?
still nursing the calf.
Oh,
Huh?
I could have fucking pushed through, but they were like, dude. They were like, hey, Eric, if you play, we'll just destroy them.
Buha said he had a slam, a 3-runner, and a 2-runner to tie in the bottom of the 7th, and he gave you a bud. So he gave you the trifecta there.
He's player manager right there. He did a
That's
hell of a
right.
job. He's the best
Nick's
in the business. The best in the business, Buha is. And I guess we'll try to do it again next year.
Well, congrats, Earl. Congrats,
Thanks.
Prof, on your guys' title.
Yeah, we just got to set a nice party night and
Hell yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah, that's right. So
Celebrate.
I played softball for the first time last night in like 7 weeks with my hand, and my hand is not even close to healed yet. It's still fucked. I got to get it looked at. The hitting was fine. I was playing short. I couldn't
You're playing shortstop.
I was playing
Why you had
short.
shortstop?
We didn't have anybody
Oh
else.
my,
to
you
do
guys are probably really good.
it. Okay, so you're saying I'm a dog shit shortstop is what you're saying.
I mean, shortstop stuff.
I'm
just fucking with you.
I don't mean I shouldn't be playing shortstop anymore. I mean, dude,
No,
I
you
wasn't.
can- I'm just messing with
I was having a hard time picking the ball up last night. Like it was.
you.
my first
How many
time
guys
back.
you throw out?
How many guys did I throw out?
Throw out.
Oh, I mean, if I didn't-
you got
if
the
I
ball
didn't-
off the ground.
Right, if I didn't boot the ground ball, I threw everybody out. But I booted like 3 balls. Like
Now, is your hurt hand your glove hand?
no, it's my throwing. hand.
Oh, and you were throwing guys. You were making good throws.
The throws are fine.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the throws are fine.
Who else got a hand injury? Dak Prescott got a really big hand
Yeah,
injury.
we're gonna talk about that.
Are we? There
And
you
Reese
go.
Hoskins got fucking pegged in the hand last night too.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
All right, so I hope Prof is still here because before we get into all the football, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and it's in baseball. So we're getting towards the end of the season, and now MVP talks come up, right?
We don't have anybody in MVP, do
No,
we?
but there's an interesting conversation to be had for the AL MVP because
Yeah, okay.
Ohtani is
And
having
Judge.
another incredible year, right? Unprecedented year. I mean, these are things that like we haven't seen literally since Babe Ruth.
I'll
right?
give you a simple clarification of who's going to win after you're done.
Okay, good. I'm hoping that you're
It's
going
going to be a
to.
really simple thing. Let's not overthink it.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Shohei won it last year. Back to back would be big. The thing is, the Angels are dog shit, right? The Angels suck.
Yeah, they got the two best players in the world,
And
and
they
it's dog
suck.
shit. Yeah.
Right. By the way, Trout has like 6 straight games with a home run.
Yeah, he's killing it.
But they stink.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, do you give the MVP of the league to a guy on the team that's in last place? Right?
Yeah, true that.
There's another guy in the AL who's pretty deserving.
Yeah, Judge.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Aaron Judge is on the Yankees. Aaron Judge is chasing the non-enhanced, I'll call it, single-season home
If
run
he
record.
hits 66,
66. He's got 58 right now.
well,
The question is, can he beat
is it
61?
Roger Mary? Oh, that's what I
Right.
meant. Okay,
Right.
so,
The
62 I meant.
The
Sorry.
non-enhanced record.
If he beats
If he
that,
hits 62,
yeah, he's got to win it hands
probably.
down.
Now,
Okay.
there's so you think, is that the line though? Like, let's say he hits 60, does he not win it?
Yeah, he doesn't win it.
Okay, so he has to get 62 to win it. You think?
If he hits
I like
60
where your head's at.
If he hits 62, he's got it. But here's the question I was going to ask you: who won it last year?
Ohtani.
Okay, so it's got to go Judge this year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, well, I was doing the fair thing. The same thing with the Jokic shit. I'm like, dude, he won it last year. Give
Well,
the
that's
fucking
why-
Embiid. I'm like, why do you got to give this?
No, but they
I mean, if they're like right here, like, come on.
and it's crazy that they did
Give it
that
to another
to
guy.
Jokic because I thought Joe would get it solely because they gave it to Jokic the year before, right? And
Well, they don't give a shit.
I sort of feel the same way this year. I think it's Judge's already because the Yankees are so good, and he's already got 58 home runs.
He's got 58. In how many games does he have to play?
There's
there's like 2-3 weeks left.
Yeah, they have a couple weeks left.
Yeah, so he could
probably,
do it for sure.
He could definitely do it. He's got a chance.
Yeah, I like Judge then.
And the Angels stink. And even though Ohtani is having, an all-timer, they gave it to him
Stat-wise.
last year on a bad team, and now it's like, are they going to give it to him again on a bad team?
Yeah, they were like, hey, thanks for coming over from Japan. He gave us a lot of good publicity.
Pitching,
blah, blah, blah.
hitting, doing it both, which we never
really
see.
thank you for bringing money in and shit, new fans. We'll give you the MVP. You are good. But this year, you're out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Judge too.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
But now the next question is, if Judge hits 62 and above, do you consider him the home run champ, single-season home run champ?
Nah. I mean, take steroids. Take steroids, you can get 70.
Well, that's true.
I mean,
That's very true, yeah.
come on, dude.
Take steroids, you get hit 70.
But, no, I still consider Barry Bonds.
I mean, I tend to agree with you, too.
I mean, and Sammy Sosa and Mark
And Mark
McGwire.
McGwire.
I mean, there won't be any asterisk on his 62 thing. That'd be pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to respect. I mean, it's still a very impressive feat. That's what he's doing.
I mean, listen,
but do I declare him the home run leader of all time? No, I don't.
this is the thing, and I don't want to digress into this. We'll have this conversation another day, and we've had it before about like steroids in baseball and what you do with these guys now. We have it like almost every year when Hall of Fame talks come up, right?
I
like,
think they should do steroids now. It's a lot funner to watch. People are falling asleep still, man.
well,
No.
Fernando Tatis agreed with you, and he just got nabbed for like 50 games.
Dude, stop. The hairdresser fucked with him.
I
dude.
know.
He cut his hair in the hair.
yeah.
He cut him with the hairdresser, put the ointment in his hair.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Come on, didn't he hear his
You're
father?
right. Yeah, you're right. I'm
Alright.
sorry. Allegedly.
No, that happened.
Oh, I was saying me. I said he did it. Allegedly, he got nabbed.
Yeah.
So, but we can go down that path, and we'll have that conversation another day. But for me, I've always thought this, and it doesn't matter, steroids or not. And I have my famous trivia question that I always ask, right? Between 2000 and 2010, so that would be 2009, like in that decade, 10 players hit 50 home runs in 50 or more home runs in a single season. Can you name them? That's like one of my favorite trivia
We said
questions.
50?
50, yeah.
Well, Ken
And
Griffey's on one of them.
Ken Griffey is incorrect. He did not do it in the 2000s, so you're already off. Don't give away any more because we'll actually do that one
I
time on the
said, well,
podcast.
you said ever, I thought.
No, between
In the 2000s.
between 2000 and 2009.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I was okay.
Right. Right.
I missed that part.
Yeah. But anytime you hit 50 in a season is impressive, right? So then
Sure.
getting to the next level, if you hit 60, there's only been what 4 guys to do it.
Yeah.
So that's really impressive. So, if you're getting to 60, it doesn't matter enhanced or not. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, I mean, Judge is having a career year, and he's probably going to win MVP. And he plays outfield, right? He's right fielder.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
So I mean, and he's an outfielder. He's not a first baseman.
Well,
Lazy
or a
fuck.
DH.
Or a DH, lazy dude that just comes up and hits.
I need to start playing first base. All right, so let's talk about
Are we
NFL.
talking football?
Let's talk some football.
Oh my
baby.
goodness,
Let's go. So
After week 1.
yeah,
Shit.
so week 1, little bit of recap. Week 1, Thursday night, Bills at the Rams. Rams have the Super Bowl
yeah,
celebration.
Great game. Not
right?
a great game. That
They
was
got
horrible.
It
Game.
wasn't a great game because the Bills stomped on them.
Oh my god, I had the Allen Robinson. Well, the Bills are good.
The Bills are very good.
That's what I said. I'm like, dude. Well, they had a bad week. The Bills are good.
The Bills are good.
They're
The Bills
legit.
are really good.
But that might be the Super Bowl preview.
It could be. So the Bills are, as of even before the season started, the Vegas odds-on favorite to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So
I see.
and they looked it. They
Dude.
looked it last week. They look like a complete team.
Dude, I think I could name you the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game after week 1.
Let me hear it.
Dude, it's fucking Chiefs Bills AFC Championship game, no doubt about her, and the Bucks, and then the Rams NFC Championship game, no doubt about it.
Really? So, but the Rams didn't look good week 1. You just
Nah,
think they had a little
They're
hangover?
going to spank the Falcons this week. They're going to just
Well,
you know,
agreed.
they're going to spank them. They're going to get the machine rolling, and
Okay.
I mean, hey, I would love the Eagles to be there for sure, but that's what I think.
I don't.
That's week 1 reaction prediction.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so we had that game, right? And then I think talking through the NFC East, and then we can talk about a couple other games before we get into this week. So first, obviously, the Eagles hung on to win over the Lions. It was an interesting game. A lot of people, I got asked this all week, like, oh man, from Eagles haters and Eagles fans. Oh man, if it's an Eagles hater, like you can't be happy with that. Barely beating the Lions. Listen. It's every week you play an NFL team. I don't give a shit who it is.
Do you want to hear like the really positive Eagles fans say? You want to hear what they say?
Yeah.
Hey, a win's a win's a win's a win.
Yeah, and if you here's the thing.
That's how I am too.
If you watch the game, the Eagles at one point got up 17, right? And the defense really started sitting back, and the Lions didn't look like a bottom 5 NFL team.
They did not. They looked good,
Yeah, they didn't look like a bottom 5 NFL team.
And how about the stadium? That stadium
looks
rocking.
awesome.
I think that HBO series really bumped up the morale.
Right, for the Lions, juiced them up.
They were like, dude, they brought it today.
They came out hot.
Either that or it was the Eagles fans that went there.
Yeah,
But
I mean, listen,
still, it was
the Lions,
packed.
the Lions to me every year, and we'll do this in
Gotta
a
give
couple
them a
weeks.
little credit.
Yeah, we'll do this in a couple weeks. We always do who are the 5 worst teams in the league. I don't think the Lions are there.
No, and a big game this week. Now they're on the Lions. The Commanders.
The Commanders now have the Lions.
Yes, and the Commanders look pretty good.
They were my next bring up, so staying in the
No,
NFC
they
East.
weren't.
The Commanders went
go
to the
ahead.
Commanders over the Jags. Now the Jags are whatever right now. An interesting thing about that matchup is Dougie P coaches the Jags now.
Yeah, that was a close game.
And Wentz and Doug obviously famously didn't get along here in Philly, and then
No,
both
come
ended
on.
up leaving, right? So that was an interesting sort of dynamic to
I'm
that.
sure they hugged it out after.
Well, I mean, who cares now, right? Like, it's over.
I mean, they were fine. It's.
Well, I disagree.
You don't think they were fine?
They were not fine.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation another time. But
we got nothing to do, nothing to talk
Wentz-
about. That's a good
Wentz
conversation.
looked like, early season Carson. I think he threw for like 3 touchdowns. Like he
4.
He looked really good. They
Big
ended up-
waiver wire ad on fantasy football.
Yep.
If Dak Prescott goes out,
Yep.
gotta get in the Wentz train.
Wentz, so they end up winning. But now they got the Lions, and so that's an interesting game this week because,
I'm not touching that one.
no, the Commanders are riding high. The Lions, came back strong against the Eagles, but came up short. So that is an interesting game this week. Then, staying in the NFC East, the Cowboys lose handedly to the Bucks on Sunday night and lose
Ow.
Dak for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken thumb. By the way, I can empathize with broken hands and thumbs, and it sucks. And even though he's a Cowboy, we're not supposed to root for Cowboys, I hope Dak gets healthy quick because having a fucked up hand sucks.
The Cowboys don't look good at all, even with Dak Prescott.
No, they looked like shit even before he broke his thumb.
I mean,
agree.
they always used to have that offensive line, and they don't have the offensive line. Dude, they hired they hired Jason Peters. Jason Peters is 45 years old at a left
he was
tackle.
He was standing on the sideline in a
He's like,
cutoff
put
hoodie.
me in, coach. Put me in.
Yeah,
You know.
but
he just got brought up.
By
yeah.
the way, he's always got that fucking.
Oh, I love Jason
his
Peters.
beard always looks
I
so
love
fucking
him.
trim.
Don't get me
and
wrong.
clean.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I love the guy.
But I mean, they're going that low. They're that low.
I know.
They got to get him in there, dude. I mean, they got Cooper Rush. I mean, I guess he's a service. You know, he's a pretty good
Sure.
quarterback. Whatever. He's not Dak Prescott. They're in trouble over there in Dallas.
Agreed. And here's a real problem. And I didn't pull up the game specifically, but I heard this. I think it was on like Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
Okay.
The Cowboys' first 7 games are brutal. Like
No, that's not true.
yes, it is.
Whoever they have this week is tough, and then it gets easier.
No.
It gets easier.
Their first 7 games are brutal. I'll pull it up as we're talking about it.
It gets easier.
I'm telling you,
I
bro.
heard. Well, I heard on the radio today. Like the first 3 games are tough, and then it gets easier.
Bro. All right,
But
so
I mean, who gives a shit about the Cowboys and say, how about the prosperous, well-looking Eagles?
well, right, and then the other hand, the Eagles seem to have a very simple schedule.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, this doesn't dude. This is
All right, we'll
yeah,
name out
this
the,
is not
name
good.
out the Cowboys,
okay, right?
Cowgirls.
So the Cowboys, they have
I know that tough matchup this week.
they got the Bengals
Tough.
this week, tough. So then they get the Giants, which is whatever, but it's a
Well,
division game Monday night, right?
Monday night.
Monday night division
Okay.
game, and then they had the Commanders, who look pretty decent, right? Then they got the Rams, and then they had the Eagles. That's a tough 6 weeks.
So you're counting the divisional games that are going to be tough.
well, okay.
I guess the
well,
Giants and the Commanders.
Say the Giants aren't tough. The Commanders could
well,
be tough.
guess who is tough? Saquon Barkley's tough.
Right. So the
Saquon
Bengals,
Barkley had a hell of a game.
the Cowboys
last
are already 0-1, right? The Bengals this week tough. Let's say the division games, whatever. But then
Yeah.
they have the Rams and the Eagles.
Yeah, the Rams. Yeah, the Eagles are tough. Yeah, I mean,
they could easily come out of this 1-4, 1-5.
someone was saying how the Cowboys are going to be like the Giants last year. You know, they're going to get a top 5 pick. I was listening to some podcast or something. They were like, they're going to be a top 5 pick. They're going to be like the Giants that were like last year. They're going to have a shit season. And the CD Lamb owners in fantasy football are probably pretty upset too.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's not looking good. I mean, he got like 14 targets or whatever, but he's not looking good.
Right.
And the Cowboys aren't looking good. Zeke's, I don't know. Their best players, Zeke and
Now,
Nah,
this is what I'm saying. Now, comparatively, right? Look at the Eagles schedule. So
Yeah.
we got the Vikings this week, which is tough, just like the Cowboys and the Bengals, right?
That's
but then
tough.
Commanders again.
We
we're-
should. Okay.
Right. Commanders again,
We should
division.
beat 'em.
But then we had the Jags and the Cards before the Cowboys.
The Cards aren't looking good.
Cards
huh?
don't look good, and the Jags don't
Nah,
look
yeah,
good.
they got. Well, then again, they put against.
Well,
the
who would you
Chiefs.
rather play in the NFC West early, the Cards or the Rams? Obviously, you'd rather play the Cards.
I'd rather play the Cards.
Right. So, like,
they didn't look too good last week.
that's what I'm saying. So, like, the Cowboys, they're without Dak. They could
Yeah.
easily, they could go through that first 6 games,
The
1-5
Steelers
or 0-6.
Steelers are, they're pretty good, but
I mean, Trubisky is a fraud, and he won't last long at QB.
we usually can always beat a team that doesn't have like a top 10 quarterback.
Right.
The Eagles, if the Eagles are going against a top 10, even top 15 quarterback, and they have the 15 over to the 30, we always win.
I tend to agree.
I don't know the stat, but I feel like we do.
Well, on the
If they have a 15 down to the 1, we do not win.
I was going to say, on the flip side of that, we lose to top 10 quarterbacks all the time.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
We always lose the
I
top 10.
agree.
I mean, is Kyler Murray in that?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I think he's right on that 15 crisp.
Well, speaking of, you're a fucking perfect straight man this week. You know why? Because the game I want to talk about next, and then this week. So the Vikings stomped on the Pack last week, and you want to
On the Packers.
on the Packers, and the Vikings play the Eagles this week.
Yeah.
Are we playing a top 10 quarterback this week?
Are
Is Kirk Cousins an elite quarterback? Is he top 10?
Nah, he's not elite. He's a top 15 quarterback.
Top 15, not top 10. Okay, so let me read you Kirk Cousins' numbers.
Oh yeah, they're Hall of Fame numbers.
Let
right?
me read you Kirk Cousins' numbers since
They Hall of Fame numbers?
2015. Are you ready for this?
I know. I've seen them. Say it for the people.
2015, 4,100 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 picks. 2016, 4,900 passing yards, 25-12. 2017, 4,000. 27-13. 2018, 4,300. 30-10. 2019, 3,600. 26-6. 2020, 4,200. 35-13, and last year 4,200. 33-7.
Dude,
Holy shit!
He's a Hall of Famer.
For his career
First
already,
ballot, baby.
For his career already, which is only 9 years, 32,000 passing yards, 223 touchdowns, only 91 picks.
Yeah.
Like, dude, his numbers, you would have to consider him elite, but you don't have him in the top 10, huh?
Nah, I mean, because he hasn't won anything. What has he won?
He wins regular season games.
Yeah, that's true. Or he throws up a lot of stats.
He does that.
You know, he likes that. You know,
That's what I'm saying.
He really does like that.
I mean, so here's the game. Here's the game I wanted to play with you before we get into the game this week with the Eagles and the Vikes.
Okay.
So
Well,
look at guys in his category around the league, right? So you just name one. So would you right now today, if you had to win a game, would you rather take Kirk Cousins or Kyler Murray?
That's a tough one. This season today, who would you want?
Who do you want? You want Kirk or you want Kyler Murray?
Oh man. I mean, I'm going Kyler, I guess.
Okay.
Even though it probably doesn't back up anything of stats wise and
anything. I'm going Kirk.
I'm just going young.
Okay.
Young.
All right, I'm going Kirk. Now, you taking Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr?
It's a tough one. It's not a tough one. I like Carr.
I would take Kirk. Before the
I just don't like.
Before the thumb injury, you taking Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott?
I'd take Kirk Cousins.
I'd take Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
You taking Kirk Cousins or you taking Carson Wentz?
I like Wentz.
I would take Kirk Cousins.
Why? Why are you all on fucking Kirk Cousins?
But I just gave you guys comparable to him, and I would take Kirk.
Like regular season guy, you'll take him. All right, well, dude, he's good. I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
He is good. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's in.
Well, yeah.
He's got the best receiver in the league. I know that. Justin Jefferson is amazing.
Justin Jefferson looks really good. So let's talk about this week. So this week, the Eagles Monday night got the Vikes coming to town. Eagles right now 3-point favorite, which is basically just a home field. It's almost basically a pick 'em.
And we kind of got torched too a little bit by Amon St. Brown, and DJ Shark had a good game.
And Jared Goff.
JJ's going to have a hell of a night. He's going to have like 10 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. He's going to put up a 40 burger.
The guy who should be wearing Eagles green, by the way.
Well, do we haven't said anything about the Rager trade, did we?
Do we need to?
I mean, it's news.
Yeah. Wow.
Rager got traded over there. But we got something out of him.
Yeah. Good riddance.
We got and we always hit on the late picks too.
Well, listen.
Howie always hits on the late picks.
For all of the
I like the deal.
For all the criticism that Howie Roseman has gotten in this city, you cannot criticize his asset management. His asset management has been on point.
Getting a stud left tackle, like a Pro Bowl type of tackle in the 7th round. Dude, that's huge.
Now
that's huge.
His front,
Mailana, that's a huge
his first round and second round receivers haven't been great. He's missed, but
he's hit a lot.
I agree.
He gets
the thing
about dynasty. Go ahead, my bad.
When he moves guys on, he gets pieces back, right? Like he doesn't lose guys for nothing.
I was gonna say that with dynasty football, it's like, dude, like the running backs that I've missed on, like you missed on tons of running backs. Like, you're just trying to get that one hit, And I'm sure it's harder, like when you own a football team, like not dynasty football,
right?
But you hit. You just want to hit. Well, I mean, you miss. But you want to hit more than you miss, and at least with the player evaluations and whatnot.
I would have to look, and I actually wanted to look at this. The percentage of first-round quarterbacks as a hit rate in the league is 50%.
Well, he hit on a quarterback, didn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Hit on Jalen Hurts.
I mean, well,
right? Or in a way, I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback. We got rid of Wentz,
and he wasn't a first-round pick.
Jalen Hurts is still, Well, what was he, a third or a second?
Second.
Well, it's a good second-round pick.
Sure.
Yeah, he fucked up the top 13 pick, but
that's
at least he wasn't Henry Ruggs. How about it?
At
least he wasn't that. At least he got a couple picks.
And
at
least it's not,
it might turn into a 4th-round pick.
At least it's not the Jets taking Zach Wilson, another guy who looks like a complete flop. He's hurt. Like the Jets, you want to know why the Jets are always bad? Because they go from Sam Darnold as their first-round pick to Zach Wilson, who doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Before that, they took Josh Rosen, who was gone.
They can't hit on a quarterback.
They can't hit on a quarterback, so they can't get good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but Wilson, I mean, he's still young, but it doesn't
He
look
doesn't.
good.
He doesn't look
He
like
was
he has it to
healthy
me.
in preseason, and I actually went to the game, and he didn't look good.
No, he doesn't look.
You know, he doesn't he was staring down receivers.
He doesn't look the part.
No, like I said, like the one guy I do like, Desmond Ritter. Well, even Malik Willis, like they go in preseason and they look good. They're not going to be the starters, but they look good
Sure.
against second teamers. You know, they're making
Absolutely.
good plays. Zach Wilson's in his second year
Doesn't look
is
good.
not doing
No,
that.
He didn't look good.
It looks like he's a rookie.
He ain't the guy.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't look good. I mean maybe
Nah,
he
ain't the guy.
should have sex with his mom's best friend.
Well, that's a thing too.
Oh wait, it happened.
Yes,
Shit. Oh, I
that's a
can't
thing.
say that, man. Damn it.
Apparently that happened. Yep, that's a thing. So what?
I'm
So
just poking at the bear.
what do
Okay.
you think about the Vikings coming to town to play the Birds this week again? Birds -3. What do you think?
Birds are favorites.
-3.
Oh boy, I'm taking.
That's basically home
I'm taking
field.
the Vikings in the points, and
I
the
know,
Birds
it's-
are going to win by a point.
It's tough not to. It's tough not to take the
Birds are
three.
going to win by a point. That's
Whenever you have a game like this, I always look at the line, and Prof would tell you this too.
Yeah.
What does this line tell you? If this game was 3.5, it would tell you that you want the Eagles. If this game was under 3, it would tell you that you want the Vikings because that like 3 is the line when you have teams like this, especially early season. That what home field's worth. The fact that it's exactly 3 is really tough. I'm just throwing it out there. Neither one, Eric or I, are telling you to bet this game. Right? We're not officially picking it. We're just taking it.
Yeah,
I would probably also take the Vikings and take the points. I want the Eagles to win. I hope the Eagles win, but I could see, to Eric's point, the Eagles winning by 1, winning by 2, or winning by a field goal and having it push. I would probably take the Vikings and the points.
Yeah, Monday night, man. I just don't know. I mean, the Vikings look good. I mean, the Eagles can get blown out. All I know. I mean,
Well, the Eagles look
they
good
let
too.
up. Yeah, they do.
Eagles look good,
Offensively, they let up 31 points against the Detroit Lions, and they only have Amon St. Brown, and they got ran all over the place by DeAndre Swift. He's a hell of a running back.
DeAndre Swift's a very good running back.
But guess who the Vikings have? They have Dalvin Cook,
Sure.
and he's pretty good himself.
They got Kirk Cousins.
They're gonna have some problems on
They
this.
got
They're gonna have
Justin
some
Jefferson.
problems over there.
They got
you
Adam
know.
Thielen.
I hope they show up.
They
believe
got
me.
a lot of weapons.
They have a lot of weapons, and they have a top tier running back and wide receiver.
And quarterback.
Well, like Jack says, you heard the stats from Jack.
You heard the
He
stats.
has the stats. You heard the stats from him. He's a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Come to stats.
Come the stats.
He just never won anything.
Right, deep in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
so now a couple other games of note this week before we get out of here because we got the
Yeah, what
NFL
time's
game
that on?
and it's starting at 8:15.
Well, I do want to bitch about it a little bit. It's on Prime Video.
It is.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I love it because I have Prime.
Well, I don't.
So how do you? Really, the real question is how do you feel about
I
it?
don't like it. I mean, how much money is the NFL paying
I bet you don't.
Amazon Prime Video? Hey, let's do the.
No, it's the other way. How much is Prime paying?
Well, that's what I meant.
A
Yeah.
fuck ton.
Oh my goodness! Is
A fuck
it
ton.
is it $1 billion or is it like
$1 billion.
is it $1 billion for
It's
this
a
one?
lot of money.
Is it $1 billion?
It's not that much, but it's a lot.
Half a mil?
Half a bill, maybe. 500,
Half a mil?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Half a bill. That's what I meant.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I
It's
got
a
that.
lot of money.
I did want to say something about the Seattle shit.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my goodness, I hate the fucking Seattle Seahawks fans. I don't like them.
How about their jerseys?
I never liked them anyway.
How about their jerseys?
Oh, they're okay.
I like those highlighter.
I like the
jerseys.
jerseys. I'm not talking shit about the jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Wilson goes into, Seattle.
Last week, Eric's talking about the Broncos went to Seattle.
Yes, yeah. If everyone doesn't know, Russell Wilson. I don't know the whole details of why he went to the Broncos, but he went to the Broncos.
It was time.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He spent 10 years.
It was time.
Russell Wilson spent 10+ years.
Won them a Super Bowl.
Won
Almost
them
won them too.
Yeah, should have had two. Bad coaching by Pete Carroll. Whatever. And 10+ years of winning football, and he goes into Seattle and they boo the fucking guy. They booed him. Crazy.
I know.
It was the disrespect.
Unbelievable.
If that happened to Philly, to Donovan McNabb,
Imagine.
they'd be like, ugh. Oh, Eagles fans, you guys are horrible. Oh, my
Fucking right.
goodness.
And by the
Oh.
way,
the shit talking would have been
when-
all over the
When
place.
Donovan went to Washington and came back
Yeah,
here,
we were cool.
that reception was amazing.
And he'd even win a Super Bowl for us.
Wow, but he's the best Eagles quarterback of all time.
He is.
When Donovan came home for that game, he got a
I was sick
standing
when I saw that.
ovation. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
I mean, I was sick. No, I mean, the Monday night, I was sick when I saw it. I was like, dude, these people are out of their fucking mind.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
You know,
So Brady,
here's a good joke. I'm like, dude, they must be Democrats, I should have said that.
That'll get us. That'll get some people
Yeah,
fired up.
that'll get someone pissed
So
off.
Braden said
just kidding about that.
ESPN Plus doesn't work in Canada, so he's all about the Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the Amazon Prime. I mean,
it's
I'm
great.
still annoyed about
It's
it.
great for me because I
But
have Prime.
I'm more annoyed about how they treated Russell Wilson, even though he's like a weird type of dude.
Okay, so can we talk about that too? Listen, okay, so first off, I'm in complete agreement with you. The way he got treated going to Seattle was pathetic.
And after the game, nobody even wanted to talk to the guy.
It was fucking
I
pathetic.
mean, dude, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, 10+ years of winning
Greatest
football.
quarterback in your franchise's history.
I mean, dude, Nick Foles won one Super. He had 2 good games, and we put a statue up for the fucking guy.
Dude, Donovan, when he came back for that first Washington game, I'll never forget it. Like, we gave him like a 10-minute standing ovation when he came out on the field. That's our guy. Like, Russell Wilson is your guy if you're a Seahawks fan. And he goes to Denver to, move on and finish out his career.
oh, you betrayed us.
Nah,
like,
it was
come
time.
on, dude.
So that was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't
But-
like that at all. Because we get a bad rap in Philly.
We do get
we
a
got a
bad
hard.
rap.
Like I said, if that happened in Philly, if we did that to
it'd be
McNabb,
all over the news.
we would have got roasted.
Oh, my God,
But in
yeah.
Seattle,
It's like whatever.
I don't know. It's just like not
just
a,
kind of faded away.
It's just not a big deal.
Well, it's because of
the big deal is how they won the football game and the Broncos fucked it up.
right. Well, and that was on coaching, right?
Oh, that was
You
coaching.
bring out a guy to try and kick a 62-yard field
And
goal.
they had over a minute, and you're paying a guy.
Right.
Yeah,
which
well,
is only
that's a difference.
Which has only happened like once or twice in NFL history, and you're doing that shit. Like, what are you doing? But
I
anyway,
agree.
the game is the game, right? But Russell Wilson, and the reason that this happens and they don't focus on it is, one, it's not Philly, but two, because Russell Wilson's kind of an interesting guy, right? People would go as far as to call him corny, right? I think that's a good descriptor of what he gets a lot.
I heard it like a little story. I won't name the podcast. I listen to it because I don't promote other podcasts from the.
Attaboy.
So I promote from the Hill podcast.
Attaboy.
So I heard this one thing. Russell Wilson's this type of guy that he doesn't shower with the other guys, or he doesn't hang out, with other guys. He's got his own office, so he's not in the locker room with the guys.
I've heard that too.
He's not the guy. He's like he's not a dude. He's important. Like Josh Allen, he's a dude. He's part of the guys. Russell Wilson's not.
So that's interesting. So
That's just what I heard.
And also with Russ, I retweeted a thing. If you guys follow me on Twitter,
I looked for it. I never had it.
I'll tag you. If you guys follow me on Twitter at JRip18, I retweeted a thing that someone put out, and it was Russ Wilson doing typical Russ stuff. And by the way, disclaimer: I'm a Russ fan. You've heard me defend Russ on the show before.
Hold on. Broncos country. That's right.
Yeah, and he's
a little weird.
He's doing like weird stuff like that, and so someone retweeted his video and was like, "So the Broncos are going 0-17 this year, right?"
They
And
could.
so I had to retweet it because
Still possible.
it was just typical Russ. But that being said, I do agree with you to close down on the Seattle.
Oh no, I
thing.
still got
That was not the show, just the Seattle. thing.
Oh yeah.
That was
I just had-
pathetic out of the Seahawks.
like with your driving thing about the 202, that like irked me when I was
Yes.
watching.
I'm glad you got that out.
I was upset because I treated McNabb. I loved McNabb. I'm comparing careers.
I totally agree.
He left. I was like, I'm not mad at the guy.
We didn't boo him.
It's that next stage of
It
his
was
career.
time. It
He
was
spent
time.
over 10+ years. He had a great career.
Yeah.
How can you hate the guy?
You can't.
And they hated him.
Oh, I mean, that was.
I
pathetic.
mean, yeah. Well, I didn't see any burned jerseys, but I wouldn't be surprised if anyone burned any.
Probably
Probably.
Animals up there.
At least the way they're.
animals up there.
It'd be, yeah, I'm not gonna say. I don't know. Seattle, it's a different breed up there,
All
you know.
right.
But
So, I got one. Dolphins at the Ravens is an interesting game for me this week.
I'm not touching that.
Ravens -3.5. I personally,
Who do you like, the Miami?
I thought that line would be bigger. I thought the Ravens would come in like
Miami's-
4.5, 5.
Miami's good, dude.
Well, they looked good last week, but are they for real?
I think they are.
We're gonna find out.
Dude, they got 2 great wide receivers. Tua's pretty good.
Two is okay.
I mean, he's like a Jalen Hurts. And you like Jalen Hurts?
Well, do I?
I don't know, do you? I mean, he can win football games in the regular season.
Yeah, but I don't trust Tua's arm just like I don't trust Jalen's arm. I kind of like the Ravens here to win by like a touchdown.
I like it. I mean, I would love the Ravens win by a
I
touchdown.
kind of like the Ravens
just-
win by a touchdown here.
I don't know, man. I think the Finns are a different team.
All right. I'm not believing in the Finns yet, and I do believe in the Ravens, so I'm going to take the Ravens and cover. take the Ravens and lay the 3.5.
Well, you want to know my pick?
Yeah.
I'm liking the Packers,
Okay. They'll bounce back for them.
dude. Well,
Do they play this week?
am I taking the points? I'll even take the fucking
Well,
points.
it's 8.5. Chicago in
I'm
Green
taking
Bay.
the Packers.
Well,
Because
it's
you know why?
actually-
Because
it's-
Aaron Rodgers
well-
owns the Bears.
Well, if you like Eric's bet, because
I like the Packers.
I
man.
have covers up here, and they give you all the bets. If
They're ready for a rebound.
well, it opened at 8.5.
Now it's
but
at 10.
It's at 9.5 on some places.
I'll
at
take
10.
10 for sure.
You
Don't worry
still
about-
take 10.
I'll take 10, man.
You're
They're
gonna lay 10
at Lambeau.
at Lambeau.
They're going to beat the snot out of the stinking Bears. You know?
Stinking Bears.
They're going to bring them down to the planet Earth.
Stinking Bears
After
beat
that
the
steal of a
Niners
win they
last
had
week.
at their stadium that rained out and shit. That was a fucking mess.
That
too.
was a mess.
That was oh my god.
That was a slop.
That was a slot mess. They beat the Niners. That game shouldn't even count.
No, that was a weather
That was
game.
horrible.
That was a weather
They
game.
got bailed out now. So I'm taking the Packers, man. They're gonna Aaron Rodgers coming back with a vengeance.
Okay.
Because he owns the Bears.
I'm okay with
And
that.
they lost last week convincingly, and they're going to rebound like they did last year. They lost the first week last year, and they rebound and beat the snot out of some teams.
So there's a lot of big lines on the board this week. There's a lot of like uneven matchups. So Eric mentioned one earlier. So Atlanta goes to LA. That game's like minus
Yeah.
10.5, minus 10.
If it's 10.5, I mean, I'm taking the points with Atlanta.
So Seattle at San Fran. San Fran minus 8.5 right now.
And they just lost to the Bears.
Right.
After Seattle just won.
Yep.
Dude, I'm taking Seattle all day with the points.
Yeah, there's another.
Dude, they're professional football teams. Like,
Yeah, I tend to
They're
agree.
always close. They're always close. I mean,
Another big line. Tennessee at Buffalo. Buff like minus 9.5. A lot of places minus 10.
What? Who's minus 10? Is Buffalo going to beat them by 10 points?
Buffalo is, yeah. at home.
Dude, Tennessee might win that outright.
Outright.
He might, dude.
Outright.
I mean, they got Mike Vrabel over there. They upset teams all the damn time.
Dude, but it's in Buffalo.
Oh,
Buffalo could have a little
Who
hangover.
gives a
after
shit? They were in Rams and they beat the snot out of the Rams last week.
Braden said Packers better give Jones the ball more. I mean, yeah.
Oh my God! What you talking?
They
AJ
will.
Dillon is just fine.
Braden, you're a Packers fan, aren't you? I think is that the closest team to Canada or where you're at probably? Because
Nah,
the Bills are
Minnesota.
on the other side. Minnesota.
That and Seattle, maybe Seattle.
Yeah, but he's not that far west. in
Or New
Canada.
England.
Yeah, he's not that far west in Canada. He's like right in line.
You
with the
should have
Pack.
been a New England fan. That was the best.
No,
bet.
he's not that far east.
Nah,
He's
they're
playing
close.
geography. I think he's really.
Well, they're close enough to the border.
I think that Braden's pretty close.
Nah, it's
to
probably Buffalo. Buffalo's pretty close.
But again, you'd have to be east. You got to be like close to us. Like if you were in Toronto.
What? He's more west.
Yeah, if you were in Toronto, then you'd be like a Bills fan. But he's more west.
Be a Seattle fan. Good
Yeah.
luck.
So he's not that far west. I think he's a Packers
Their
fan.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, they spit on him.
Went to Denver.
I don't like him. Boo him. I don't.
I mean,
But I like the Packers. I think they're gonna rebound huge.
okay.
So that's my bet on that. And you got tonight. What do you like tonight?
Yeah, who do you got tonight? So tonight, let's
They-
look. Like, the line was moving.
It was 4.5.
It was 4. It opened at.
Dude,
let me see.
Dude,
I got it right
again,
here.
I only
It opened at 3.5.
Dude,
It's 4.5 some places.
Dude, the
4
one
other
thing
places.
me betting NFL, dude, I'm telling you, like not that I'm good at betting, because when I think I know what I'm doing,
Right.
it doesn't hit. But when I take the points, I take the points. I usually cover, and I'm taking the 4.5 with the Chargers, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be a field goal type of game. It's gonna be. I hope it's a high scoring game. Come down to the last drive. Hopefully, I'm taking the 4.5 points, man. I just think it's gonna be a close game, and the Chiefs might win by a field goal.
So-
That's my prediction.
I want to disagree with you, but I don't. I also would take the points here and take San Diego.
I did have one more, but I'll just whatever.
We'll save it for next week.
Well, I can't really say for next week.
All right, fired away.
So I made a fantasy football trade.
Oh boy! And listen, everyone cares about your fantasy football
No,
trade.
It's just Well,
So
we don't have to talk about it.
No. This is a running joke that Buha and I have. Everyone cares about your fantasy.
But like,
football.
what do you think? Is it like? I just want to see if it's a fair trade. Give me your honest opinion. Is it a fair trade?
Okay.
Because on the league message board, or not league, the board, they're like, dude, fucking, the whole league's burning
But
down.
don't they get to approve it or not?
Yeah, there's a vote. It got 4 votes for allow, 4 votes for veto.
Right.
So we're like, oh damn, we're waiting for these other 3.
Did it go through?
Well, tomorrow I think.
Well,
It
but
may.
was it approved?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
All right, so here's the fucking
All
trade.
right,
all
tell
right?
me the trade.
So I won't tell you who I traded or whatever. I'll just tell you what the trade was.
No, I need to know. Yeah, I need
if
to know.
I'm trading the guy?
No, I don't care who's
All right, so
trading
here's
who.
the trade.
I need to know the players involved.
So the players involved is Rashad Bateman, Allen Robinson, and Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
For Michael Pittman. And the guy threw in Derek Carr.
Derek Carr's a throw-in, huh?
That's a pretty fair fucking deal.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's not like
There you go.
it's not the most lopsided thing I've ever heard of.
There you go.
Right.
So that's all I need to hear.
Yeah, it's not the most lopsided thing I've ever heard
I
of.
didn't rip the fucking guy off. I was like, dude, I got Matt. He wanted a quarterback. I'm like, well, I got Stafford. He had Dak Prescott. I got Stafford. And it's like, I was like, well, who do you want? I'm like, well, if you want to make a deal.
So he also had Derek Carr, apparently.
Yeah, he had Derek Carr. And he didn't
Derek Carr's not a great fantasy quarterback.
And he didn't like Carr. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you Stafford. And I saw his team. He had DeAndre Carter at his wide receiver 2. I'm like, dude, what are you doing with that guy, your wide receiver 2?
Okay.
And I'm like, I'll give you 2 good wide receivers and give me the wide receiver 1 you got, Pittman. And it's a fair deal.
I mean, it's not the most lopsided thing.
Yeah,
I've ever
it's a
seen.
fair deal to both teams, and it just blew the fuck up. Like, oh, you got a couple guys in the league, dude, got Vita that shit. But I'm like, dude, you guys
You want to call him out?
Nah.
I mean, you have a platform right here. You could call him out if you want.
Yeah, I got to. Yeah, well, nah, I ain't calling him.
All right.
I mean,
Braden said he's a Niners fan, by the way. I didn't see that coming, bro. I thought you were a Pack fan. He's a Niners fan.
that's California. It's close enough.
Yeah, it's Niners.
It's at San Francisco, so that's. Yeah, I mean,
kind of south.
I grew up being a San Francisco fan too.
Well, you get a lot of people our age who are Cowboys or Niners fans because they were so good.
And now we got the younger kids that are New England fans.
Exactly.
You know, Tom Brady, Patriots.
Correct.
You get it, huh?
Yes, of course.
All right, anyway, so it's a fair fucking deal, right?
I mean, it doesn't seem ultra lopsided to me.
Yes.
If that came across my palate as in the league, I would just.
I'm like, dude.
click approve.
Obviously, he's on the chat. He's like, dude, like, I want the deal to go through. Like, we both are like,
Right.
dude, we like the deal. We want to do it. There's no collusion.
If I was
and
on
I'm like,
that,
dude, send it.
yeah, if I was in that league, I would just hit approve.
And I'm like, dude,
Unless to me it's blatantly obvious that like there's collusion going
But there's
on
not.
and a trade. That's not something that I'd be
yeah.
like.
So
oh my
I was
God,
like,
that's
I'm
outrageous.
like, there's a couple guys in the league. I'm like, you guys are fucking.
And listen, remember,
driving me nuts.
the last thing that I'll say is, and this applies to everything. This applies to every trade in every sport, and even
No
down to
collusion.
fantasy football. There's no trade is fair. The idea that a trade is fair,
Okay.
is dumb because I would ask anybody this individually. When you go to make a trade, right, and you look at it, do you go, oh, well, I think this is fair, or do you go, no, I'm getting the better of this? At least your perception, right?
I mean, I'm getting the better player as of now, but
I'm just saying overall, right? Now he might think he's getting the better of it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right. It's no trade is fair.
Yeah.
Nobody
knows what's going to happen.
Somebody always thinks they're coming out on the better end of a trade in order to make a trade.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why the fuck would they do it?
They don't think I'm taking a fucking risk with
Right.
it. You know, it's like, dude, I'm taking a risk. Like now you're second guessing me. Now I don't want to do the trade.
Yeah.
Now I don't even want Pittman.
Yeah.
So
Trades are never fair.
So there you go.
Yeah,
I
trade-
got my opinion out there. That was on my chest, like the decal Pike thing, 202 thing.
Yes.
So there you go. That's a nice little trade talk for the people, and
I got something for you, buddy.
let's hear it. Oh yeah, get hyped for the game,
yes,
baby.
sir. So in about a half hour here, if you're on the live feed, we got that game starting tonight. Chargers at the Chiefs. Big kickoff for this week in the NFL.
Big game.
Huge
Lots of points. I like
game.
Josh Palmer, first touchdown scorer.
Huge game tonight. I heard, I think Katie Nolan, who does the picks for ESPN, who's a local girl, used to be around here. She said her bet for the night that she loves is Mahomes to throw at least one pick. So that's a pretty good one.
Well, that's possible.
Yeah, so that I
I
saw
don't.
that she
I don't
put
like
out there.
that. I don't like
Right.
it.
So that's an interesting one to put
So
out there.
could happen.
But we are getting out of here. Before we do, though, don't forget, everybody, all the From the Hill podcasts will be up on all of our platforms, YouTube, the iTunes podcast application, and, of course, Spotify. Search from_the_hill. Put it in quotations so you do not miss it. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the share button. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it helps us out a lot. Helps to get the content out there. That's all we got. Earl, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, it was fun, man. There's nothing better than drinking a couple beers, talk some sports and shit, and
Getting ready to watch a Thursday night
watching
game.
a Thursday a great football game with the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's gonna be a hell of a game, high
Damn
scoring,
right.
I hope. So
It's officially football season.
I love it.
That's it. I'm Swags. That's Earl. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Was
Everybody
fun.
enjoy the game.